Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning to everyone. Thank you for viewing this video. So, I would like to prepare a video that related with chapter 8, which is about financial ratio. So, before we move further, so let me open first the note for chapter 8 before we can discuss more about financial ratio. Basically, what is about financial ratio is more on how we are evaluating the firm performance, okay, whether it can be well enough to be performed in the public, or okay, the same time we can consider as the company having a problem by the calculation of the financial ratio. So let me try to look at the note. So let me open first the information. So this is the information of the financial ratio or financial analysis. So basically, why we are preparing financial analysis, because of we want to make sure that if we want to invest in that company, whether we can gain more profit, or we can see whether the company can be sustainable in the public. So that's why we are preparing financial analysis. Okay, so inside chapter 8, what is about financial analysis, which is we will be more on analyze the financial statement, and also based on the analysis of financial statement will become out the result, whether the suggestion or recommendation for the company in the future. So that's why we need to prepare the financial analysis. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the currently that we have, which is about the statement of the comprehensive income. Currently we name as statement of the profit and loss, and then we have a statement of the financial position, which is the categories of the asset that we have. Okay, so that one we consider as the statement of the financial position. Okay, if you can see here, this is the information. What is the definition of the first one here? If you can see here, this is a statement of the comprehensive income, whereby if you can see here, okay, the information, the statement of the comprehensive income is more on showing this. Currently, we have been changed the name to statement of the profit, okay, profit and loss. Okay, currently the name is statement of comprehensive, statement of the profit, statement of profit and loss. Okay, so before this, the name is a statement of comprehensive income. Now the latest name is statement of the profit and loss. So it kind of the statement whereby it shows to us what exactly the performance of the firm in terms of sale, how much they have been collected, how much the profit that they've been generated, okay, how much the expenses that they have. So that one will be in statement of the comprehensive income. And then for the next one is statement of the financial position. Here it will be state the information such as asset, liability, equity. So mean that, okay, anything that will be owned by the firm we name as asset. Asset we can categorize into two, which is we have current asset and also we have fixed asset, okay, or non-current asset. Whereas for the liability we have current liability, which is within 1 year, such as accrual, account payable, note payable. All that one will be considered as current liability. Whereas for non-current liability, such as mortgage, debenture, bond, all those things will be categorized under non-current liability. Whereas we have some of the equity, such as preferred stock, preferred share, we have ordinary share, we have retained earning. All those things will be fall under equity. So the other than that, you can see here is in other information of the statement that you may read soon. Okay, other than that, okay, so this is the theory part, which is about the user of the financial statement, which individual, which company that will be look at on the financial statement, which is we have the investor, those will be look at the performance, whether they would like to invest or not, depending on this performance. Okay, other than that, debt security investor, manager itself, they want to project it to the company whether they have been making the company move or they have been advanced, or have been moved to one stage to another. Okay, so that's why they need to show some of the ratio. Employee staff for career and enhance, whereby if they work in a proper company, maybe there will be a kind of the one level which they can move to another, because the company maybe can be bigger than other they have now. Okay, other than that, which is in terms of the business contact, intermediaries, and sometimes of the other user, which sometimes government will be used for calculation of the tax. So that's why there is an example of the financial or user of the financial statement. Okay, other than that, that we have here is about the things that will be calculated. Okay, it's about the financial ratio. So financial analysis is a standard technique used by a financial analysis to compare and analyze information. Okay, there is a basically always used in evaluating the company performance from one place to another. So that's why we must make sure that when we calculate financial ratio, it can be projected the company overall performance. Okay, depend on each of the departments, such as the liquidity, such as the debt ratio, okay, in terms of using the debt and so on. So this is basically that will be calculated later on. Okay, so this is the more on the theory part. Okay, so basically we'll be comparing. Okay, we'll be comparing the ratio based on this tree, which is the historical analysis, whereby we'll be comparing from year to year. So sometimes historical analysis we can consider as, okay, yearly basis. Okay, so mean that we'll be comparing from one year to another. For example, if they are given 2014 and 2015, so we need to compare whether this year and that year, whether there is some improvement or not, getting better or not. So that's why we can consider as the first one we name as the historical analysis. Okay, and then other than that, the another comparison that will be done is about budget analysis. Okay, the second thing, what we have been doing the budget analysis, basically we want to know the actual performance ratio compared with the firm projected performance. So basically this one, we're not focusing at all. So mean, just for information, basically this one is more on we want to compare from the one and the projected. And the another one, the third one is we have is the competitive ratio, which is in the industry ratio, whereby we are comparing the company from the industry. Okay, so mean that we will compare with the industry. Okay, so this is basically they will given to you the information whether you need to compare from yearly basis, or the things that usually basically that we will use is about historical analysis. Another one is competitive ratio, okay, or industry ratio. Okay, sometimes we can consider the name as the industry ratio. Okay, industry ratio. Right. Okay, so basically we'll be comparing from the company with the industry. So that's why we consider as the name as the industry ratio or competitive ratio. Okay, so you may wondering what is the formula that will be remember. So it's about 12 formula that you will be remember later on, because the formula will be given about 12 kind of ratio that will be calculated, but not all will be come out in the final examination. Only a few will be selected, so you still need to learn all the ratio. Okay, so let we look at on the, oh, this one I think you may read soon. What is the advantages and disadvantages of using the financial ratio? Okay, because we want to directly move to the calculation. Okay, so this is the group of the financial ratio that basically will be calculated, which is we have the first one, liquidity. Okay, what is about liquidity? Okay, first of all, you need to understand, okay, what is the meaning of the liquidity ratio? Liquidity ratio is whereby we want to know whether the asset that they have, they're able to turn into cash in short period of time. So mean that how many times they're able to convert their asset into cash. So that one we consider as liquidity. In Malay term, we name as kecairan. okay, whether the asset that they have easily turn to cash or not. So depending on the liquidity ratio. So basically will be calculate current ratio, and also another one is acid test ratio. Okay, so that one will be under liquidity ratio. Okay, another one, the second one that we have here is debt management ratio. So what is about debt management ratio? So debt management ratio basically will be calculated. Okay, we want to know whether the percentage of debt owned by the company is in high level or low level. If they own more than 50%, it will be considered as high risk because they dependent more on the debt. Mean that they are borrowing more compared from using another resources such as equity. So that's why to be balanced, they must be less than 50%. Okay, if they have more than 50%, basically will be considered as high risk because which is a kind of percentage that will be indicate the company level of performance. Okay, and also we have the profitability ratio. I think in terms of the profitability, everyone know we just will be showing the requirement of the item that related on the performance of the profit, whether the asset that they have able to turn on profit, okay, how many time, how many percent, and then depend on the sales, how many time they able to generate into profit. Okay, and then other than that, number 4 is about asset management ratio. What is about asset management ratio is basically we want to know that the asset that they have, whether the asset can be turned into sale or the asset only make them become a burden. Okay, if they able to generate more asset management ratio, it shows that the asset is very efficient, fully utilized by the firm. So that's why we need to calculate, we need to compare the asset management ratio. Okay, so this is the main calculation that will be calculated. Okay, inside them they have a few sub calculation. For market value ratio will not be come out in the final examination, but the meaning of the market value ratio is more on we want to calculate. Okay, we want to calculate the performance in term of the market share or in term of share. Okay, so but this one will not be covered in the final examination, just this main 4. Okay, so let we move to the calculation. So we'll be start with the first one that we consider as, okay, that we can consider as debt ratio. So this is basically the information that will be given comprehensive of income, or now they name as profit and loss. Okay, statement of profit and loss. Okay, another name for statement of the comprehensive income. Now they have been named as statement of profit and loss. Okay, so they will given you amount of sale. Okay, this is until net profit after tax. So information from here you need to be extract and bring it to the formula. Okay, daripada amount yang awak ada ni, awak akan bawa ke, you bring to the calculation and will be calculate how many result that will be earned. Okay, and then we have the statement of the financial position here, include the equity, include the current liability, include the non-current liability, include asset, include non-current asset that will be used later on. Okay, so this is from the industry that we mentioned. We have 3: budget analysis, historical analysis, and the one will be the comparative. So comparative is the industry average. So meaning that this company will be comparing with the industry. Okay, so this is the ratio that we will calculate. Okay guys, so let we move to the next one is liquidity ratio. So I have mentioned to you the first one here is liquidity ratio. It will be referred as the solvency of the firm overall financial position. It will be liquid firm. This is a liquidity whereby they can meet the short-term obligation. As I have mentioned, we want to measure whether the asset they have, they're able to turn into cash more quickly. Okay, here, if you can see here, refer to an asset that can be converted, okay, converted into cash quickly at lower cost. Okay, so we prefer more on higher ratio. Higher ratio will be shows that the firm, okay, good performance. Okay, if you calculate later on and you got the amount is more than the industry, so it will be shows the firm in good performance. Okay. Okay, so inside the liquidity ratio, we have two, current ratio and we have quick ratio. Another name is acid test ratio. Okay, so let we look at the formula for calculating current ratio. So what is the formula? This is the formula of calculating current ratio. Okay, as you can see here, the formula is quite simple. You just take the amount of the current asset. Okay, total amount of the current asset divided by total amount of the current liability. So what will be inside the current asset? Okay, what will be inside in current asset, which is such as account receivable, okay, such as cash, okay, such as inventory, marketable securities, all those things will be belong here. Current asset, and current liability such as account payable, accrual, not payable will be belong here. Okay, current liability. So we need to look at the example given here. Okay, from the current asset. So this is the formula, current asset divided by current liability. So refer back to the example. Okay, so this is the amount of the current asset. So this is the amount of current asset that you need to be add on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, if you add on here, we'll be starting the amount of the current asset. If you can see here, 620,000 plus 380,000 plus 35,000 plus 205,000 plus 30 will be equal to, here is amount about 1,270,000. Okay, so that you need to total up. To remember, you need to total up all the amount of the current asset. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, about this 5 amount is equal to 1,270,000. Whereas another one for the current liability is here, 700,000, 55,000, and 120,000. If you add 700 plus 55,000 plus 120, so the amount is 875,000. Okay, 875,000. Okay, will be this amount. Right, so you just take this amount, 1.270 million divided by 875. Okay, so this one. Okay, so it will be short form. If you can see here, so actually if the full form one, 1.27 million, okay, divide by 875,000. Okay. Okay, so the answer, if you divide here, the amount would be 1.45 times. Okay, it will be equal to 1.45 times. Okay, 1.45 times. Okay, so the result that we obtain, it will be shows that based on this company, okay, from the asset that they have, they able to cover their own liability about 1.45 times, 1.45 kali lah daripada asset yang dia ada, dia mampu bayar liability sebanyak 1.45 kali. So in simple term, okay, and then basically will be compared with the industry to show whether the firm in good performance or not. By look at the industry, actually here, okay, the current ratio is 1.5 times. Okay, from here is industry. Okay, industry. The result from the industry show 1.50 times. So now we need to compare whether the firm perform or not. compare from the industry. So we'll be look at the company must be more than the industry. If they get less, it shows that poor performance. So because we want to make a conclusion here, so we company only 1.45 time, but then industry is 1.5 time. It shows that the company is getting worse or less than the industry. The company must get more than the industry. So now the company only able to generate 1.45 time, so the industry is more, so mean that this result is poor performance. Okay, poor performance. Okay, do remember the company that we calculate must be more than industry. Okay, so if we get less, it shows that poor performance. Kalau kita dapat lebih tinggi daripada industri, good performance. But then, if we get less than industry, it's a poor performance. Alright, so this is the first one. Okay, the second one that we have here is the quick ratio. So never mind, later on we'll do the exercise. Okay, another one is the quick ratio. So quick ratio is the formula current asset, okay, minus by inventory, minus by prepayment if they have, and divide by current liability. It will be showing that if the company do not have inventory and also prepayment, how about the performance? Still they can perform or they still can pay the liability or not? Okay, still they can pay liability or not, right? Okay, so if you can see here, we try to calculate here. So we take first the amount of the total current asset is 1.27 million. So we minus by the inventory. Okay, inventory here 620,000. Okay, 620,000. So we will see whether the firm have prepayment or not. If they have prepayment, then we take. Okay, if not, you just ignore. Okay, minus. So this question we have prepayment minus by 35,000. Okay, minus by 35,000. Okay, and then you'll be divided by, okay, current liability 875,000. So based on calculation here, it shows that the result is 0.7 times. Okay, it shows that 0.7 times. Okay, so we'll be compare with the industry. So we will compare with the industry. As you can see here, the result from the industry showing that 1.05. From the industry showing that 1.05. Okay, from industry. Okay, from industry, it shows that 1.05 times. Okay, the higher the ratio, it will be indicate good performance. But then we can see here the company is less than the industry. So as a conclusion, the company is poor. Okay, is poor performance. Okay, if we want to evaluate this firm, the firm must be more than the industry. If they get less than the industry, it shows that poor performance. So how to make a conclusion must be make sure that higher ratio will be showing good performance. If you get less, okay, so higher ratio, okay, higher ratio equal to good performance. Okay, same goes with here. If you get the higher ratio, okay, if you get the higher ratio, it will be equal to good performance. Okay, but then we calculate here, both result for this example showing poor performance. So if they ask you to whether want to invest or not, for sure we will not be invested because both will be showing a poor performance. Based on the result here, the company only able to generate 1.45 times for the current ratio, and then for the quick ratio it will be showing that okay, 0.7 times only, okay, compared from the industry. Okay, then for debt ratio, so for debt management ratio, it's showing here, it will be indicate the degree which the activity of the firm are supported by the credit fund. So mean that we want to see whether the dependent on the company, how many percent to the borrowing. Okay, if they borrow more, it will be commitment will be higher. At the same time, the interest that they will be pay will be more than usual. Okay, so that's why the higher the amount of the debt ratio, it shows that the dependent of the debt will be higher. At the same time, they will lead to some of the bankruptcy because they will be have some of the problem to pay if the interest will be higher. Okay, so two calculation that will be imposed here is a debt ratio. Okay, and another one is time interest earn ratio. Okay, or time interest earn. Okay, for debt ratio, the unit must be in percentage. Okay, for time interest earned, the unit must be in time. Okay, so the debt ratio, if you get lower percentage, okay, lower percentage, it will be show good performance. Okay, and then for time interest earned, the higher time interest earned will be show good performance. So mean that they have high ability to pay back their interest. Okay, so let's look at one by one. Okay, so the first one here we have a debt ratio. What is the formula? The formula is total debt divided by total asset. Okay, what is inside total debt? Inside total debt is current liability plus non-current liability. Okay, I repeat again. What's inside current total debt is the formula is current liability plus non-current liability. So if you can see here that we back to the information. So we back to the information here. The current liability here is here 875 plus with non-current liability here 750,000, and then the total, this one will be the total asset. Okay, this one will be the total asset. Okay, sometimes they will be given information, sometimes you need to add non-current plus current, it will be here plus here will be here. This one is the total asset. Okay, this one is total asset 4,065,000. Okay, so you take here 750,000. Okay, plus 875,000. Okay, so divide by total asset is 4,065,000. Okay, so the result must be in percentage. So mean that if you get point, you need to time by 100. So given here, the answer is 39. Okay, 39.98%. Okay, so for the debt ratio, the lower percentage of debt ratio will be show a good performance. Lower. So mean that if you get result here, okay, so we will compare from the industry. Okay, the industry mostly take about 50.5%. So if we want to compare here,
the company only generate 39.98%. So mean that the dependent on the debt will be lower. So it good for the company. So as the result is good performance. So this one will be the good performance because we get less than the industry. So as the benchmark, we must get the result more or less than the industry because of the ratio. Sebabkan hutang mestilah rendah. So that's why it must be less than the industry good performance. Okay, so we move to the another one is time interest earn. The formula is quite simple. You just take the earning before interest and tax, EBIT, divide by interest charge. Okay, so let we try to look at the information. Where is the information for the okay, here, right? So here is the basically the amount of the profit before interest and tax. So profit before interest and tax same with the earning. Okay, nama dia sama je lah. Okay, it will be similar. Earning before interest and tax. So this one is EBIT. Okay, this one is EBIT. So it's not EBIT Liu, but this one is EBIT. 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 Earning before interest and tax. Okay, so it will be 700,000 divide by 100. Okay, divide by 100. Okay, 7. You just take the here 700,000. Okay, divide by 100,000. So the result must be in time. So it shows that this company, the result is 7 times. So the higher the amount of the ratio, it shows that good performance. The higher is good. This one is lower is good. Okay, preferable. So here higher show good performance. So we compare here from the industry. Okay, from the result here, industry is only show 5.5 times. Okay, only 5.5 times. So as the result, it shows that good performance. Okay. Do remember, for time interest earn, if you get higher, it shows that good performance. Okay. Alright, so we have been covered until the debt management ratio. The next one here is a way to calculate of the profitability ratio. So what is the profitability ratio? Basically, it will be related with the performance of the firm. It will show the profit. So the higher of the percentage, it shows that good performance. The lower will be lower performance. Okay, so it will be incurred the information such as net profit margin, gross profit margin, return on asset, and also return on equity. So this is the main one that will be calculated. Well, in the Malay term for net profit margin, we can consider as untung bersih. Okay, net profit margin is untung bersih. So basically, we'll be calculate the net profit margin. The higher will be good performance. All this ratio. Okay, so here this is the formula for net profit margin. The formula is profit after tax or net profit divided by sales. Okay, net profit divided by sales. Okay, net profit divided by sales. Okay, another name for revenue is sales. Okay, net profit divided by sales. So where we can find this information, you can search from the Okay, you can find or search from the information such as statement of the comprehensive income or statement of profit and loss. So here we want to find the net profit. Okay, we back to the statement here. So the net profit here is the profit after tax. So 450,000 divided by sale here 5.5 million. Okay, 450,000. Okay, divide by 5.5 million. Okay, please do some adjustment here. This one not a 450. Okay, not a 420,000. If you can see here. Okay, this one is 450. Okay, so do correction here. Okay, this one will be 450. Okay, 450,000 divided by 5.5 million. Okay, time with 100. Okay, time with the 100. So the result would be 8.18%. Okay, so do some adjustment here. The result should be 8.18%. Okay, but then we want to compare with the industry. From the result here, the industry is equal to 9%. Okay, from the industry is 9%. So for here net profit margin, the higher will be showing good performance. If we get less than the industry, okay, it will be poor performance. So the company only get 8.18% compared from the industry is 9%. So as the result here is poor performance. Okay. Alright. So then we move to gross profit margin. So gross profit margin dalam bahasa mudah, bahasa Melayu adalah untung kasar. Okay, so what is the formula for gross profit margin? You just take the gross profit divided by sales and then you time by 100. So let me back to the statement. Okay, so here is the gross profit here, 1.2 million divided by sale. Okay, divided by sale 5.5. So then we get the result. Okay, so gross profit margin, the formula is gross profit. Okay, 1.2 million. Okay, 1.2 million divided by 5.5 million. Okay, 5.5 million. And then the answer must be times with 100. Okay, so here the amount would be 21.81%. Okay. Okay, 21.81%. But we compare from the industry here, as we can see the result from the industry, it show the company only generate 21, but the industry is 26.7%. Okay, so same goes with net profit. All the profit will be the higher percentage will be show good performance. But then we want to compare with the company only 21.81%. So as the result, the company is in the poor performance. Okay, and then we have another one is return on asset. Okay, return on asset, the formula is net income. Net income divided by total asset. So as we can see from the statement, so the amount is 450,000 divided by total asset. Total asset is okay 4 1,665,000. Okay, so the amount would be 11.07%. Okay, so compare from the industry. Okay, industry is 8%. So as the result, the higher will be show good performance. So this one, okay, for the return on asset, the company show good performance. Why good? Because they getting more than the industry. Okay, which is 11.07%. Okay, another one. Okay, another one for return on equity. So you do some adjustment here. It's not about ordinary share. It's about net income divided by total equity. I want you to do correction. So actually the formula is, okay, net income divided by total equity. It comprises of the preference share, okay, preference, ordinary, okay, and also retain earning. Okay, retain earning. Okay, so make sure you do the adjustment from your module. Okay, basically will be use net income divided by total equity. Okay, so what is inside? Preference, ordinary, and also retain earning. Okay, so based on the statement, the net income is 450,000. Okay, you'll be add with the statement here. Okay, the statement here is consists of the ordinary share, retain earning, and also preference share. So the amount here is 1940. Okay, 1 million. Okay, so you try to take 450,000. Okay, 450,000 divided by 1.9 million. It will be equal to 23.1. It should be 23.2%. Okay, 23.20%. Okay. Okay, same goes with here. So we compare with the industry here, 13.15. So it shows that good performance. Okay, it shows that good performance. So this one basically for the profitability ratio. Okay, so let we move to another part of calculation, which is we name as the financial or sometimes asset management ratio, sometimes efficiency management ratio, or sometimes activity management ratio. Okay, so basically we'll be managing, we want to calculate whether the asset that they have able to generate into company sales or not. So it depending on this ratio. Okay, so we have inventory turnover. Okay, we have day sale outstanding. Sometimes we name as another for day sale outstanding is average collection period. Okay, another name is average collection period. Okay, non-current asset turnover and also total asset turnover. Okay, so this is the four things that will be calculated. Okay, let we move to the first one is inventory turnover. For inventory turnover, why we calculate inventory turnover? Because we want to know that based on the inventory that they have, how many times they able to convert into sales. Dalam bahasa mudah, daripada inventory yang dia ada, berapa kali dia mampu restock setahun. Lebih banyak habis, lebih banyak bagus. It shows that the higher inventory turnover, it shows that good performance. So what is the formula? Formula for inventory turnover is inventory divided by sales. Okay, the formula for inventory turnover. Okay, sales divided by inventory. So you need to change here. So do some correction. It's not about cost of goods sold. Okay, actually it's sales. Okay, sale divided by inventory. So do some adjustment here. It's not 3. Okay, so here is 5.5 million sale. Okay, divide by inventory. Make sure you do some correction here. It's not about cost of goods sold, but it's inventory divided by sales divided by inventory. So sale here is 5.5 million. So if you can see here, the inventory amount here is 620,000 divided by 620,000. Okay, divide by 620,000. Okay, so let we see. Okay, 5.5 million divided by 120,000, it will be equal to 8.87%. Okay, 8.87, sorry, it's not percent, 8.87 times. Okay, so this one also change, 8.87 times. So we want to compare with the industry. So industry's result here is 7.45 times. Compare from the industry, compare from the company is in good performance. So do remember, higher inventory turnover from the company, compare from the industry, it shows that good performance. Okay, and then for day sale outstanding or average collection period, ACP. Okay, the formula is account receivable. Okay, account receivable divided by sales times 365. So I want you to do some adjustment also here. You take account receivable divided by sales times 365. Okay, so account receivable is 300. Okay, 380,000. Okay, divide by sale 5.5 million. Okay, darab time with 365. Okay, so let me try to calculate. Even though they are given in the module, but sometimes maybe the author have the problem of do mistake or not. Okay, this is the correction that you need to be done. So 380,000 divided by 5.5 million. Okay, then the result will be times by 365. So the answer is 25 days. Okay. So this one, the unit must be in days. Okay, make sure I prefer you to do this one. Not referring here, I'm afraid of you are doing a mistake. So compare from the industry here is only 20 days. Okay, for average collection period, the shortest period of time, you must find the lowest one. The shorter period of time, it will be show a good performance. Mean that they able to collect the debt in short period of time. Dia mampu untuk kutip hutang dalam satu tempoh yang singkat. So kita akan pilih yang mana lebih rendah. So this one we compare from the industry. So the result must be poor performance because they get more than the industry. Okay, another one we have non-current asset turnover, or sometimes we name as fixed asset turnover. Okay, fixed asset turnover. So what is the formula? The formula is sale divided by non-current asset or divided by fixed asset. Okay, it will be show the result. So sale here is 5.5 million. Okay, 5.5 million divided by, okay, given here the fixed asset is amounted. If you can see here, the fixed asset here or non-current asset here. Okay, non-current asset 2795. Okay, 2795. Okay, so bring here 2,795,000. So as the result here, okay, it will be equal to 1.61 time. This one must be unit, must be in time. It shows that based on the fixed asset, for example land, machinery, aset tetap yang dia ada, it will be generated about 1.61 times. So the higher non-current asset, it will be show a good performance. So if we can compare from the industry here, the industry is only 1. Okay, the industry is only 1.05. Okay, 1.5 time compare from the industry. Okay, so the company is showing a good performance. Do remember, the higher non-current asset, it will be good performance. Okay, and then total asset turnover. Okay, why we calculate total asset turnover? We want to show that all the asset able to generate how many time for their own sale. Berapa kali dia mampu generate kepada company sale. So the formula is sale divided by total asset. Okay, so sale here is 5.5 million. Okay, 5.5 million. Right, divide by total asset 4065. Okay, 000. So the result would be about 1.11 times. So we want to compare from the industry. The industry is 1 time. So the higher total asset turnover, it shows that good performance. Okay, so here the industry only 1 time. So the company showing good performance. Okay, so this is basically the thing that will be calculated. Okay, so maybe you can do this summarization based on the result that we have been done. Okay, right. Okay, so this is the basically all the formula. So I want each of you to look back this video and try to apply from the exercise starting page. Okay, starting page 146 until 146 sehingga muka surat 155. Okay, you do exercise. Okay. Okay, do exercise starting page 146. Okay, 146 until 155. Okay, please do exercise. Okay, please do this exercise. Okay, page 146 until 155. Okay, so make sure hopefully that you will be understand on the video that I have been made here. Okay, so try to do exercise and I will be given the answer in our group WhatsApp. Okay, that's all for the video. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.